Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Lesley Hughes. I'm a Professor Emerita and former Pro-Vice-Chancellor Research at Macquarie University. I've had a 35-year career in research looking at the impacts of climate change on people, ecosystems and infrastructure. I'm a former lead author for the IPCC's 4th and 5th assessment reports. You have repeated at this meeting APA's support for the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement to keep global temperatures well below 2 degrees and to work very hard to keep them below 1.5. It is very clear from the IPCC's latest assessment, the latest assessment from the International Energy Agency and abundant peer-reviewed scientific literature that in order to stay at 1.5 or below, no new fossil infrastructure can be afforded for that carbon budget. And by fossil fuel infrastructure, I mean coal, oil and gas. And let me say, for those of you that continue to use the terms natural gas, so-called natural gas is 97% methane. It is the second worst greenhouse gas. So my question to you is that how does APA reconcile support for the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement whilst promoting fracking and transport of methane from the Beetaloo Basin? If that project goes ahead, it could release well over 1 billion tonnes of carbon dioxide equivalent climate-wrecking greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. How do you possibly reconcile the Paris Climate Agreement with your support for that new fossil fuel infrastructure? Thank you.
Thank you. Look, a couple of things there, and I noticed, and you did very well, thank you for the question. You pivoted from well below 2 degrees to the 1.5 degree scenario, and I think, as you would no doubt be aware, there are a range of scenarios for a 1.5 degree outcome that the IPCC has modelled, and those range of scenarios include gas being at about 60%, I'll say round numbers, of today's level, up to there are scenarios where you get to net zero where gas usage is up to something like 160% above where it is today. So there are a range of scenarios out there. Also, it's been widely acknowledged that the no new gas scenario to get to the 1.5 degree that you mentioned took no account of global security issues. So I just point you to the example of Russian gas to Western Europe, which you can talk about strategically whether that was a smart thing that the Europeans did, and most people would say not. So they need to get their gas from somewhere else. I'd also point you to something much closer to home, which is common sense outcomes like the east coast of Australia not having to resort to high cost, higher emission LNG import terminals to supply domestic gas. And with respect to Paris alignment, I think I've already answered that in the previous question, how the safeguard mechanism is the key mechanism that covers us, and that if the federal government's supporting Paris and we're in line with that, then that's how we support it. Do we have another question? Sorry, the microphones. Yeah, that's fine. We're just the microphone needs.
It's all very well to hide behind the Australian government, and in fact, I'm a member of the Climate Change Authority that advised the government on those targets, so I'm very, very well aware of where they came from. To meet those targets, we actually need to be producing 92% of our energy from renewables, not from fossil fuels. So I repeat, we cannot stay underneath 1.5 with any, and I mean any, new fossil fuel infrastructure. Beetaloo is a carbon bomb that puts us way over Australia's current emissions. I don't see how anybody that cares about their children's future, their grandchildren's future, like the previous questioner, can possibly reconcile their conscience with any fossil fuel infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take that as a statement and just say that I think I have reconciled for you how we fall in line with the government's ambitions. So another question over here. Oh, sorry, is there one down here? Sorry, you were